A world divided. The Russia-Ukraine war and the United States. The world watches as conflict engulfs Ukraine. This is a story of invasion, resistance, and international implications. At the heart of this crisis lies a complex relationship between Russia and the West, with the United States caught in the middle. This image paints a stark picture. On one hand, we see a nation under siege, fighting for its survival. On the other, we see a global superpower grappling with its role in the conflict. The decisions made by the United States have profound consequences, both for the people of Ukraine and for Americans at home. The United States has committed itself to supporting Ukraine. This support takes many forms, from military aid to financial assistance. But this commitment comes at a cost. As we delve deeper into this conflict, we must ask ourselves, what is the price of involvement, and is the United States prepared to pay it? This is a story that continues to unfold, a story with no easy answers. We are witnessing history in the making, and the outcome remains uncertain. The arsenal of democracy, quantifying U.S. military aid to Ukraine. Since the outbreak of the war, the United States has emerged as a key provider of military aid to Ukraine. This aid has been crucial for the Ukrainian military, enabling it to resist the Russian invasion. But what exactly does this aid entail, and how much has been provided? The United States has committed billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine. This aid encompasses a wide range of weaponry and equipment, including anti-tank missiles, anti-aircraft systems, and artillery pieces. These weapons have been instrumental in slowing the Russian advance and inflicting heavy losses on the invading forces. In addition to providing weapons, the United States has also trained Ukrainian forces. This training has focused on enhancing Ukraine's ability to operate and maintain the weapons systems provided by the United States. This training has been essential in ensuring that Ukraine can effectively utilize the military aid it receives. The United States' commitment to providing military aid to Ukraine is unwavering. This aid is a testament to the United States' commitment to supporting Ukraine's right to self-defense and its sovereignty. However, this commitment also raises questions about the long-term implications of U.S. involvement in the conflict. The price of support. How U.S. aid impacts American taxpayers. The United States' decision to provide billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine has sparked debate about the impact on American taxpayers. Some argue that the aid is essential to supporting a democratic ally in need, while others question the cost and its impact on domestic priorities. The reality is that this aid does come at a cost. Every dollar spent on military and financial assistance to Ukraine is a dollar that cannot be spent on domestic programs such as education, healthcare, or infrastructure. However, proponents of the aid argue that supporting Ukraine is crucial for U.S. national security interests. They argue that a Russian victory in Ukraine would embolden other adversaries and undermine the international order. They believe that the cost of inaction outweighs the financial burden of supporting Ukraine. The debate over U.S. aid to Ukraine highlights the difficult choices facing policymakers. Balancing competing priorities, both domestic and international, is a complex task with no easy answers. As the war in Ukraine continues, so too will the debate over the cost of U.S. involvement. Section 4. Echoes of the Cold War. NATO, Russia, and the roots of conflict. To understand the current conflict, we must delve into the historical context. The roots of the Russia-Ukraine war run deep, entangled with the legacy of the Cold War and the expansion of NATO. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, was formed in 1949 as a military alliance between North American and European countries. Its purpose was to counter the perceived threat from the Soviet Union and its allies. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, NATO continued to exist. Russia, however, has long viewed NATO expansion as a threat. The alliance's eastward movement, incorporating former Soviet republics, has been a source of tension for decades. From Moscow's perspective, the West encroached on Russia's sphere of influence, fueling mistrust and resentment. This historical backdrop is crucial for understanding the current conflict. The war in Ukraine is not merely a regional conflict. It is a clash of ideologies, a struggle for power and influence on the world stage. Section 5. The Biden Connection. Untangling allegations and exploring potential conflicts. Adding another layer of complexity to the situation are the allegations surrounding Hunter Biden, son of President Joe Biden, and his business dealings in Ukraine. These allegations, while unproven, have become a political flashpoint and fueled accusations of corruption and wrongdoing. Hunter Biden served on the board of Burisma Holdings, a Ukrainian natural gas company, during his father's tenure as vice president. Critics allege that this position constituted a conflict of interest, suggesting that Hunter Biden's business dealings influenced U.S. policy towards Ukraine. However, no evidence has emerged to support these claims. Multiple investigations, including one by a Republican-led Senate committee, have found no wrongdoing by either Hunter or Joe Biden. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the allegations persist, fueled by partisan politics and a desire to discredit the Biden administration. These allegations have muddied the waters, making it more difficult to have an honest conversation about U.S. policy towards Ukraine. Section 6. The Economic Fallout. Consequences of U.S. involvement on American soil. The war in Ukraine and the subsequent U.S. involvement have had ripple effects across the globe, impacting not only geopolitics, but also the global economy. Americans are feeling the consequences of this conflict on their own soil, particularly in the form of rising inflation and economic uncertainty. One of the most direct impacts has been on energy prices. Russia is a major exporter of oil and gas, and the sanctions imposed by the United States and its allies have disrupted global energy markets. This has led to higher prices at the pump for Americans and contributed to rising inflation. The war has also disrupted supply chains, leading to shortages and higher prices for goods. The conflict has exacerbated existing inflationary pressures, putting a strain on American households already struggling with rising costs of living. The economic fallout from the war in Ukraine is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the global economy. Events happening halfway across the world can have a direct impact on the lives of ordinary Americans, highlighting the complex challenges facing policymakers in navigating this new global landscape.